This is a narrated version of Chapter 23, Understanding and Interviewing Terrorist. Understanding Terrorist. Since the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, there has been an increased interest in terrorist profiling from agencies and governments around the globe. Nomothetic terrorist profiles. Nomothetic terrorist profiling models are often based on prejudice, not actual insight into criminal behavior. Racial profiling was on track to be eradicated in the United States until 9/11. As a result of September 11th, public attitudes towards racially profiling terrorists softened as the sense of urgency regarding future terrorist attacks increased. This does not make the rationale behind racially profiling terrorists any more valid. Interviewing terrorists. This section covers three main areas: a brief look at terrorism research, the profiling of terrorists, and how to conduct interviews with terrorists. Terrorist research, a brief background. There are several problems with the field of terrorism research. The problems include the following. Number one, there doesn't appear to be a consensus among experts on the definition of terrorism. Number two, an overwhelming number of articles are mainly thought pieces based on open source documents. And number three, many terrorist experts have never actually spoken to a terrorist or are reluctant to reveal who their sources are, or at least vaguely where they are from. Profiling terrorists. There is no compelling reason to believe that terrorists are psychologically abnormal, insane, or have a unique psychological profile. Terrorists can appear to be as normal as anyone else, perhaps with the exception of being deeply religious, committed, generally agreeable, and very likable. For example, Al-Qaeda recruits members from 74 different countries and among at least 40 different nationalities. This suggests that there is little point in arguing that there may be a distinct physical, ethnic, or personality profile for a terrorist. This doesn't mean, however, that an organized or operational terrorist profile is not feasible. Many terrorist groups are structured organizations that are operationally inclined, hierarchical, and networked. They tend to hold fast to specific ideological beliefs, causes, and operational objectives. Many terrorist groups are organized to conduct particular actions. This makes certain elements predictable. For example, kidnappings, bombings, assassinations, or reconnaissance. Ideologies. Ideology helps to provide the moral and political vision that inspires violence, shapes the way in which they see the world, and defines how they judge the actions of people and institutions. There are two types of ideological mandates. Number one, moral mandates are the specific positions that people develop out of a moral conviction that something is right or wrong, moral or immoral. Number two, divine mandates are unique features of the extremists driven by religious ideology. Strategies for rapport-based interviews. Strategies for rapport-based interviews with terrorists include the following. Adopt good standards for investigative interviewing before commencing. Torture does not make a good investigation. A terrorist may have different needs than a criminal. Respect begets respect. Interviewee matching. Attempt to understand the cultural background of the interviewee. Understand some of the jargon or language used by the interviewee. Talk to the individual, but don't forget the groups that's behind him. Attempt to understand the interviewee's ideological beliefs. Expect deception and learn to be a better lie detector. This ends this narrated version of this PowerPoint presentation.